Hello everyone, SirMonkeySuit here, back again with Hunter x Hunter 1 episode 138, and in the last episode we began the sort of like the new arc, and it's interesting the complete different feeling from the last arc that we had. Well, obviously the Chimera Ants, it's a very different like tonal change, but it's definitely interesting, especially with all of the like the Zodiac 12 and whatever, and all of this election that is coming up. It seems like it's going to be like playing off against each other. And almost like Gene trying to get one over on everybody else, because he seems to, I guess, understand Netero's vision for what, you know, to carry on that whole thing. And with Beans, you know, he seems to be like on board with that idea. So it'd be nice to get some more like sort of insight into why that is. Why like is Gene more trusted, I guess, with Beans in that regard. Because I mean, we haven't really seen a lot, obviously, of Beans. Like we saw him like way back in obviously the first arc, and he was kind of alongside Netero for what seemed like most of it. So it's almost like he's like a trusted advisor kind of thing. So I kind of get the feeling that Beans understands Netero more than a lot of them, but I don't know. I could be wrong. You know, but yeah, I like the back and forth between each other. So yeah, we've still got the vote to come. There wasn't obviously enough people that voted last time, so therefore they had to redo it. And yeah, so that'll be interesting. And the episode ended with, apparently there obviously is another Zoldyck family member, a little brother that we haven't seen yet. So yeah, I'm sure we'll be getting into that this episode. But yeah, there's nothing else to really talk about. So we're just going to get into episode 138 and see what we get. So without further ado, let's go. Okay, episode 138. Fucking hell. What is this? What is this power? What is it? Because it can't be a Nen thing, right? Like, we didn't get any information on where she came from either. We just know that it didn't come from Silva's loins. You know? That is insane. So so she can grant wishes if you fulfill her requests. So she needs 3 requests to be fulfilled, and then you get a wish. And then depending on that wish, depending on how extravagant, big, or whatever, how much you're asking for, feeds into the next set of requests that will be bigger also. And she'll ask more of it. But then also the fact is that if they're not fulfilled, those bigger requests, then more people will die because of it. So that woman who obviously had the, like, you know, make me a millionaire thing, ended up killing 67 people because of that. And she just crushes them. Like, what is that power? That can't be a Nen thing. Unless she isn't human. I mean, I think you'll be excused for thinking that she may not be, but I don't think she's just like a Nen being that somebody has created and sent off, you know? I want to know where she came from. But here's the thing as well, the thing that I picked up on, that one of the hot air balloons or whatever that was carrying the money disappeared from wherever it was before and then appeared, and you know, so seemingly if we're using that as an example, then she can't make things into existence. Like, it's not like they're just coming out of nothing. It seems like it's taken from somewhere else, or there's like a price to be paid for, you know, and not just the requests having to be fulfilled for the next time round, but it seems as though things can't, it's not like a miracle that is happening, more so than it's just being taken from somewhere else in the world and being put there as a thing. So if it was wished that she, like, you know, like Killua's trying to do, if it's a wish to bring Gon out of like the state that he is in, like, how would that work in terms of, like, is it going to be like a life for a life kind of thing? Like, because Gon comes out of that situation, would somebody else die to keep him alive kind of thing? You know, I don't know. But that's terrifying, man. Fucking hell, that is terrifying. So there's not like a... There isn't... Like, there's no side effect or anything that comes from her having black eyes. It just looks scary. It just means that she's... At that point, she's able to give a wish. It's very demonic in, like, the way that it looks, you know? Fucking hell. Like, almost as if... I don't know. I'm interested to see what her personality is going to be like now that she's grown a bit and not just a little kid. Because I want to know if she acts the same. I mean, the fact that she's been, like, locked up and, like, makes me think that she is going to be the same. And I don't know if her personality trait, the way that she was in here, is like that because she was a little child, like a very small child, or because she was probably a toddler. So it could be a case of that, or it could just be the fact that because she isn't human, therefore she's void of that personality, so her voice is very monotone. But I'm interested to see how that's going to play out in the way she is now. I mean, it seems like she recognised Killua, so there is that. God, that was disgusting as well. When that poor woman, her head just caved in and she just got crushed. That was, oh man, that's disgusting. Do you remember when I was saying that, like, it's such a different feeling this arc to the last one? Well, they just kept it dark, I suppose. I suppose you can't just go back to a light fucking... I suppose you can't go back to a light tone after what we went through, really, can you? So, I guess there still has to be that element there that... But damn, man, that's just nuts. I also wonder as well, the whole thing with, like, more will die if the requests aren't fulfilled after a big wish. If that means that instead of just killing you and your, like... your lover, or the one that you love most, like, it extends to more people that you love. I wonder if that's what it means. I don't know, though. God, I can only imagine as well, like, you know, the millionaire thing was said to be a big one, and obviously that affected her afterwards. Like, if Killua does get through this and he does end up allowing them, like, for that wish to bring Gon back, like, I can only imagine, like, that's surely, like, the requests after that surely are going to be bad, like, really bad. I mean, I suppose it depends on how big of a thing the show puts on that. I mean, you're essentially saving a life, you know. Do you know what really gets me? Like, and this is obviously from the last episode, not this one, is that Gene seems so sure of everything. Like, he was talking about the last episode about how Gon's definitely going to make it. Like, how does he know? It's like, it's almost like he can tell the future. I don't know how the fuck how does he know, you know? How the fuck does he know? Right. What else then? Yeah, so I suppose the only other bits to really talk about then are the like the bit at the start, so the votes and stuff. So the second vote didn't go through either because they could get over the 95%, but because of the invalid votes that are going in, it's basically keeping it below 95%. And it seemed like the reason they were doing it is because the people who are putting in invalid votes, they're doing it on purpose, is so that Pariston doesn't end up winning the thing. That's what it seems like. And it was interesting with Cheadle there as well, how she was, you know, even though she didn't didn't want to sort of like admit it. She kind of wished Gene was there because he seems like, it's interesting that she puts that kind of faith in Gene. I guess because he is like the like, if I guess they see him as one that if anybody can sort of take him down a peg, it's Gene. So even if they don't like them, like even if they don't like Gene, they can see, like, you know, they can sort of like respect the way that he can go up against Parison in that regard, I suppose. Because yeah, it just seems like nobody wants Parison on there. It's interesting as well. They had the similar, like, almost like the Phantom Troop thing, where what was it, Kanzai? He stood up to Parison. He was going to go attack him, and then some of the others like jumped in the middle to stop him. It seems like, you know, similar to like no infighting between, you know, the group, which is interesting as well because isn't the Phantom Troop like 12 people? So that's an interesting thing, isn't it? Like an interesting with the fact that they're both 12. It's definitely interesting. I suppose it takes away from the like it's taken the 12 thing, like, like the Phantom Troop is the months, and then the Zodiacs is 12 as well. It's interesting that Gene is a boar because isn't it? I thought it was pig, not a boar. The year of the pig, right? I'm sure it's the year of the pig, not year of the boar. So it's interesting that you put that in. I guess they just didn't want. I guess it's cooler to be a boar than it is to be a pig, I suppose. But you know, it is what it is. So yeah, Netero as well. We got that there, which is actually a question I did have asked. I asked like last episode, which is about, is it a thing when Netero chooses his vice chairman? And he does, and he chose him because he didn't want a yes man, and he wanted somebody that he can't stand, because then it's just, what was the quote, like, it's not as fun or something. It's like, great. So basically he doesn't have to deal with the aftermath because he's dead anyway. God, I guess it's that thing, isn't it, where didn't they say like at one point, like it was quoted saying like hunters are generally like selfish, and I guess like Netero was no different in that regard. This is definitely interesting. Definitely interesting. So yeah, Illumi wants Aluka dead then. Why though? Like, why? Like, what's the meaning behind that? I need to get more into the brain of Illumi. Really do. Just to see like what his reasoning for stuff is, because it doesn't seem to, like, it's not like I'm not picking up like anything obvious from him at all. Of the reasons why he wants to do things. I don't know if he's aware as well that Killua has removed that pin that he had, and that he was like manipulating Killua with. I don't know if Illumi's aware of that yet. Interesting as well that the other ones, the other Zoldyck family members, like, refer to Aluka as a he, even though it's a she. Yeah, I mean, still, I referred to Aluka as a thing. So yeah, I just want more fucking insight into what the hell is going on with this. Like, where did she come from? Why is the Illumi wanting to kill her now? I really don't know. But yeah, I mean, that's all I got. So thank you everyone for watching. In the description below, I've links to certain things. One of them is the Discord, so you can get over there if you wish. And I do have a Patreon page as well, so if you do want to support me on Patreon, that'd be very much appreciated. There is a bunch of different tiers and rewards depending on how much you want to support me with. So there's the early access tier, $5 a month. That gives you access to shows a week early. And by the time this episode comes out on YouTube, I'll have finished the show. So you know, you can go over, become an early access tier patron, and have access to the next 10 episodes of what is left or whatever, and you can just binge watch them. If you can do it within a month, it's only going to cost you $10, not $10, $5. But it is $10 for the full length. So if you do want full length, you can get that over there. Doesn't matter for this show, but for other shows you will need that. And then there are other tiers where you can pay to have a certain show reacted to as well. So yeah, you can go have a look and see what they offer. But yeah, so I do apologize. Like today, like I'm a bit sort of out of it. You know, you can probably tell. You know, I'm just fucking feeling very, very tired. I think I've got the coronavirus. Fuck no, I definitely don't. Definitely don't. I'm, you know, I'm fine in that regard. Like, physically, I'm fine, but mentally today, I'm just absolutely fucked. So, apologies for that. But we'll get back to the next 2 episodes tomorrow, and I should be fine then anyway. But yeah, that was all I got. So, thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.